This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, but the real star of today's show is my favorite group of people in the world, that being the Simpit patron team. This is our most loyal fans, our most loyal contributors to this show, and they help out behind the scenes. They help out financially. Let's face it, there's a fee to be part of the patron group, and we do a lot of fun events together, and it's a great group of guys, people I've become good friends with. We race together in a bunch of different things all the time, and today we are here for the patron sim race. And there's two parts to this race. It's one, a day that I get to kick back and call the action, and we are watching qualifying underway as we speak. We are following Phil Scrutton, currently running third position, and just a handful of us are here today. And the other whole reason for doing this is for me to say thank you, number one, and number two, to do our patron giveaway each month, where I'll randomly pick a patron member, and they will win a Simpit t-shirt and coffee mug. So that's another part of it, and it's obviously, there's only like 11 of us here today, available to all of our patron team are eligible for that prize, and we do this race just for fun. But sometimes we get a few more guys, sometimes a few less. A couple of our regulars weren't able to make today's race. So what we have is 10 minutes to get our qualifying in, which is way too much time, more than enough time to get it in here at Tsukuba. I can never say that right. It's hard for me to get that first U in. Tsukuba. And they are out there doing qualifying. Let's see how the results right now. It looks like David Grunnell is in the lead with a 106.768. Joe Antonio in second. Phil Scrutton moves up into the third spot for the beginning of this race. And I only see 8 drivers who have made a run at qualifying so far, as Phil finishes things up there. Here's Troy Tyner out there. He's actually on his out lap, it looks like, so we'll stay with him for a couple of minutes and see how that goes with 5 minutes left in qualifying in today's race. But again, this is me giving a big thank you, and when I say thank you and behind the scenes, I mean, we hang out on Discord all the time chatting, and in a moment I'm going to turn on the Discord chat, so they're going to hear me calling their race today, which is always a good distraction. In addition to that, we're going to hear any chat that goes on between them while racing, which is always fun and interesting, and sometimes even R-rated. Hopefully we'll keep things somewhat clean, as Troy posted a lap, and looks like he's just going to stand on that lap, sitting in 8th spot right now. 10 people have qualified. I think we have 11 of us in the room. So what I'm getting at with the whole Discord and hanging out chatting, but I'm often wondering what I want to do with the direction of the show, or when we're working on these streams and trying to troubleshoot the quality of the stream and the quality of the broadcast, or whatever it is that we're doing here at the Simpit. These are the guys who help me behind the scenes in so many ways. I mean, they've contributed computer parts, they've contributed financially, they've contributed their time and energy to help me shake things down. And I mean, right now, just this morning, everybody was helping me out trying to resolve an audio issue that I'm experiencing when trying to do a picture-in-picture racing stream, which we're not going to have to deal with today. Let's see if anybody else is out on track. It looks like, Heiko is still out on track. He ran a 107.939, good enough for the 6th qualifying position as he takes a run down pit lane. Good idea there. I have given them all a setup today to use. There's not a lot you can do the Pontiac Solstice, and we are here for 40 laps of racing. Guys are running just a little bit over a minute, so we're talking about a 46 minute race, and I gave everyone probably about 38 minutes worth of fuel. The tires will last forever on this car, so that won't be an issue, but everybody is going to have to make a run down pit lane, bring it down to pit lane speeds, and at the same time, not get a black flag, take a splash of gas, and finish off the race. So that's a little of a bit of excitement that we'll get to see. Checking in with the results one more time. David Grunnell with a 106.768. Amazing run by him. Brandon Skinner in second place with a 106.970. One of only 2 drivers dropping into the 106s. Joe Antonio with a 107.358 will start in the 3rd spot. Running in 4th, just a click behind it with a 107.386 is Phil Scrutton. Lonnie Jameson rounding out the top 5 with a 107.60. Looking back through the rest of the grid, Heiko Sherman, David Blair, Troy Tyner, James Dowling, Tim Chitwood, Tyson Landis, and Leif Hellberg will be our contestants today. 12-man grid as we get ready to start things off. I should probably bring on the chat. So if you have any children, you should warn them. They might hear some foul language. If you don't like foul language, you might want to mute the channel. Hopefully it'll be clean, but you never know. When you hear race chat, that is the heat of the moment. So you never know what people are going to do. So let's bring on the chat. Hey, guys. Looked like you guys had a good qualifying run out there. Good job, David.
Thank you, but I don't think you're talking to me.
I was talking to David Grunnell. But Dave Blair, good job with your 108, 118. I was just telling the audience how we all hang out and chat and how you guys help me out in so many ways. Just like talking about our audio problems today. I want to thank you guys for lending your thought and input on what is causing my audio difficulties.
Yeah, could they hear you?
Yeah, everything's working today because today we're keeping it simple. We're using the KISS technique of streaming.
What's a gallon or two in liters?
A gallon is around 4 liters.
Thank you.
Really would be 4 quarts, and a liter is slightly more than a quart.
Are we able to hit?
Izzy says the Solstice is the best car ever. You know, at this track, I think the Solstice is pretty fun. Actually, it's like a really cool combo.
I can say the Solstice is the best Pontiac in iRacing.
Can we hear your commentary today? Will you be able to hear
Yes.
it live?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes. We're going to be live, so the pressure is on. I will be
Riley runs an old Pontiac motor, so
Oh, it's part Pontiac.
yeah, the engine's Pontiac.
That's not bad for qualifying for you, Tim. Not bad.
Thank you. Knocked about over a second and a
I'll
half
give you
off
that.
my
You have
times.
been getting quicker, Tim. I'll give you that, man. You've been improving a lot.
Well, I took over a second and a half off my best time from earlier this week to this.
Are you H patterning?
David, all I gotta say is fuck you and your 106.
That's nasty.
Damn.
No, because of the 3/4 shift, I switched back to the sequential.
Are you guys using a real clutch? Like, are you anybody using a clutch?
Ooh, I
Yep.
see the cars are gridding up. Here we go.
Nice.
Izzy, I have a Simpit mug. I don't have a Sean mug. I have a Simpit
Hi, Izzy.
mug. There you go. Saturn Sky. Yes, that was the counterpart. All right, looks like we're getting ready. Let's see. I better get our view on. We're going to have to see what happens to, let's see, we're going to start off with third place, Joe Antonio. That should give us a good view of the race start. As you see the little map, whoever we're watching, you'll see in the green circled yellow dot on the map as, ooh, the car is rolling out. As we see that beautiful Porsche 911 safety car. Technically, those aren't 911s anymore, but I don't know if anybody actually calls them by their proper. Anyway, here they go. David Grunnell in that pink car getting a good run out. Looks like he's going to be clear. And Brandon in that black
How the hell
car.
did I get black flag?
Yeah, I got a
Oh.
black flag for passing the pace car.
What?
Yeah, me too.
What the hell?
That's not right.
That's perfect. I got screwed last night. You guys get screwed today.
It's mayhem. Anyone know the admin control for race restart? I don't think there is one.
Don't worry about it.
Black flag.
Well, this is gonna. Oh yeah, I can clear black flags.
Yeah, click on everybody's name.
Who has a black
Hey, I
flag?
can't even clear my flag. Bill does.
I have a black flag, Brandon.
Pretty
much all the top
all the way to the back.
All right. I think we just took care of Phil.
Nope.
Brandon.
You got Joe too.
Yeah, he got yours, Joe.
Sorry, Phil.
It's all good. I didn't see you behind me there.
All right, that should be Phil.
Yep, I'm good, thank you.
Who else?
Brandon, the leader.
Brandon. There we go. Who else?
Right here.
Who was that?
I'm me.
Oh man.
All right. Anyone else? Black flag clearing. Anyone else?
No, but I forgot to change my pit stop strategy.
Throwed it.
All right.
Do it,
So
Mom,
did
do it.
I.
Well, we've got mayhem right off the bat.
Throwed it.
I should throw a. Oh, I should give the pink car a black flag. Bucho's saying. As Brandon Skinner has been the recipient of a big lead during the confusion, and we'll have to see. We have a total mix-up of the grid as Joe Antonio is now running in second place. He was in third at the beginning, so basically David Grunnell is the worst recipient of the weird black flag condition we saw there as the Porsche seemed to have hit the brakes going into the pits. Looking further back through the grid, it's Lonnie Jameson currently running in third place. We are under 3 laps already, on the third lap already, as David Blair sits on the bumper. I was running against David last night, and he is a fast driver, so he is going to keep riding Lonnie's bumper, looking for a mistake. You know, I ran in the practice race on Thursday, and it's really hard to make a move in this car without getting into somebody's bumper in some way, shape, or form. And that is Tyson Landis rounding out this 3-man fight we have for the third, fourth, and fifth spot. Right now, Tyson's actually a little bit closer on the back of that 36 car of David Blair. A little bit of contact. David gets loose, but he saves it. I heard a sorry there thrown out by Tyson. And like I said, it's really hard to find your way around another car. There's not a lot of room. It's a very narrow track, very tight corners, and there's very little draft in the car as well. You can see the group staying together with no draft at all. It's hard to get away, as that pink car was our pole sitter, David Grunnell, now running in the 9th spot, making a move at this point to the inside on Troy Tyner, under braking. Looks like he's going to have that low line. Troy gets plenty of room to go around. Excuse me. I should mute my mic for a second. And so with that shuffle, that actually puts David Grunnell all the way back, scoring now in 7th spot. So he went all the way back, and now he's moving forward through the grid, and we'll have to see what people can do to hold him off. Let's go through the whole running order, starting at the front. It's Brandon Skinner leading the way with a little bit of a gap at this point over Joe Antonio, who seems to be maybe slightly closing that gap. Lonnie Jameson running in third. Right behind him is David Blair, Tyson Landis, and David Grunnell is now pulled into that 3, 4, 5, and now 6th position. It's scoring him in 7th, but I believe when he crosses the line, it will show him 6th place, if I'm not mistaken, as he's closed up on the battle, and he is now to the inside, looking for another position. He goes to the inside of Tyson Landis, under braking. He gets the position. Can he hold it as Tyson comes back on the inside, which is now going to be the outside? I was in that spot against David Grunnell, and going into this heavy-duty left-hander, it's not where you need to be, as David picks up that position and should be able to now hold on to what is now being scored in the 6th position. No, that's going to be 5th place after that pass there. And David Blair still all over Lonnie Jameson in that 3 and 4 spot on what is now the 5th lap of the race. Oh, David Grunnell gets into the back of, we had some major contact there. Yeah, that has some consequences. David is now lost a bunch of positions. That was Dave Blair. You can see a lot of damage on the side of Dave Blair's car. Let's go back in time and see how that played out.
Sorry, David. I thought you left the door open.
As we see David Blair still all over Lonnie, just ahead of him, as he sets up, and he did take a wide line, and as you heard David Grunnell say, he thought That was leaving the door open. That was just taking that wide line, shooting for the apex, and a lot of contact. Let's get one more time. Look at that one more time. Let's go ahead and take a look at that from David Grunnell's perspective. It's going to get a little loud here. You might want to turn down your microphone or your speakers real quick. And you can see him taking a look, and oh, yep, just thought there was room, and just by the time he turned in, it was just a moment too late and into the side. And both cars recover. Everybody has some fast repairs, so everybody should be able to make their pit stop, get some fuel, and fix any damage, and not be too much worse for wear other than the moment at hand. So let's look back towards our leader, which should still be, unless something's changed, Brandon Skinner up front, Joe Antonio running in second place, Lonnie Jameson running in third. And Brandon last time by ran himself a 108.152. Comparing that to Joe Antonio, who ran almost a full second quicker with a 107.351. So in a few more laps, we might see this gap.
I am sorry about that. You kind of cut in front of me there a little bit.
5 seconds. That sounds like Phil had it. Oh, let's go back in time and see what went on there with Phil Scrutton. And looks like coming through that windy section into that hard left-hander. Everything looks good there. A little bunching up of the cars. Like I said, the cars just stay together. It makes for a fun race in the Solstice. And we might have missed the moment.
It was turn one.
Oh, thank you. We're going to have to go back in time even further. There it was, coming down the front stretch on lap number 6. Phil looking to the inside, and oh, I don't know, it looked like just a tiny, tiny little, maybe mirror-to-mirror contact, not much more than that there. And we go back to, with proper timing of the race, we'll go through the running order one more time. Oh, now it looks like Brandon running a 108.1 last time by. Joe Antonio with a 107.5 last time by, and those differences are enough that Joe is closed right on to the bumper of Brandon Skinner, and we have a race for the lead going on here. Maybe we get a little perspective from Joa's view as he is in hot pursuit of Brandon Skinner. Team Illinois in first place. Bucho rooting for Brandon. And that brotherly Illinois love, I guess we'll call it. Both of these drivers using a lot of that curbing, holding a tight line there on the final corner as we now cross the line and begin lap number 9 of 40 laps. Joe with the 108.035 last time by, holding a tighter line than Brandon, getting a good run coming off of 1, but there'll be very little room, and Brandon will have to protect under braking here, going into that sharp left-hander. Very hard corner. Oh, Joa going way inside, getting up, I'm sure. They both heard some spotters talking there, but not enough room to clear him, and he gives way. Brandon back into the lead again as they fight for the top spot in today's race here at Tsukuba.
Got a three-way going on with Phil and Heiko.
Oh, Phil and Heiko. There's Phil Scrutton leading in that black car. I can't get a good enough view of those sponsors, but look at this. We almost have it. We have a 4-man battle. We got Heiko Sherman running in the 4 spot in that number 3 orange, black, and white car. Almost no sponsors on that car whatsoever. Phil tracking him down in the black. Troy Tyner staying right behind, and is David Blair back again in that 36 kind of brown and red car, looking to the outside. Not going to be able to carry enough speed, but he might be able to come to the inside here for a run down the front stretch on Troy, and he got a really good run for a tight line. Troy went wide, but it looks like Dave's going to have position and take that position back after that unfortunate event earlier. Phil Scrutton still in hot pursuit of Heiko Sherman. You heard him call it out. That was Phil who said, Heiko, you're next. He called him out as they head into this left hairpin. It's tough to make a pass, though. Getting there is one thing, getting around is another. We've seen a few guys try different methods, and it seems to be the one that unfortunately works best might end up being the going through them, unfortunately, around them. But lots of race left, so you don't want to get too much damage. As, under braking, he gets very, very close. No pressure, Heiko. You know, you can't drift this thing. There's not enough power. It just won't do it. I'm sorry, Heiko.
Stay away, Phil. I'm still missing gear.
It's not just Phil. Look, there is a whole grip of cars all the way back. Heiko running in 4th position. Phil running in 5th. Dave Blair in 6th. Troy Tyner in 7th. That's none other than our pole sitter, Dave Grunel, running in the 8th position. He must have had another moment out there because he... Oh, I know. That was the moment with Dave Blair that cost him a couple more spots.
Heiko.
James
Heiko
Dowling running in 9th. So we look back to Heiko. And what we complete with this great race going on. Oh, it's to the inside. Oh, Phil. There might have been a little contact there. I'm not sure. Heiko to the outside. Phil's car is looking pretty beat up at this point. I think he's confusing this for Wreckfest. Speaking of Wreckfest, Dave Blair's car is starting to look like we're going to see a sideways driver helmet here in a moment if he takes much more damage. We will see guys using those fast repairs when they go in for the pits, which everyone's going to need to do. You can do it at any moment. You feel like someone's holding you up and you can't go around? Maybe it's time to go into the pits. Maybe it's time to go into the pits and change up the cycle and run hot laps. I don't know. All sorts of strategy at hand. And let's look back to the leaders, because who knows? We missed a pass for position. Joa Antonio getting by. Let's go back in time. Going into that final corner, Brandon taking his line. Joa getting a little bit of a tighter line.
I didn't know you were coming through behind David, James.
And it looks like a little bit more of a run off of that final corner. Coming to the inside, Brandon kind of squeezing him a little bit, but Joa gets position. But he needs to make it stick, because if Brandon can hold that outside line,
sorry, Joa,
which he cannot.
Steering
I wasn't expecting that.
And it looks like he holds that position. Let's fast forward a little bit, because we might have missed another moment. Oh, and
James,
there it was.
He brake checked me.
James took out my steering.
We watched Joa get on the brakes a little early. Brandon has to double, triple check up there, and I don't know if there was contact. Joa went wide. Brandon gets a run, and this is heading down the backstretch into that final right-hander. Position is going to be everything. Holding that inside line should prove, but Joa leads him into that corner, holding out wide, and gets a pretty good run. I don't know. Nope, it looks like Brandon is not going to be able to carry enough speed to make a move into one as we go back live with our leader. You can see him still racing for that number 1 position. Joa's right there. Brandon not letting him get away at all, and they do have a little bit of a advantage over 3rd place. Lonnie Jameson, who at this point finds himself a man on an island, a man on a boat all alone. He's got no one to race with. He is in hot lap mode, in hot pursuit.
I'm working on him.
107.831 last time by, and Phil coming for everybody. Scrutton is running in 4th spot, running a 107.987, but he's got a mirror full of David Blair, who's still trying to gain back positions from that earlier incident with none other than pole sitting David Grunel. Currently, Heiko Sherman sitting between the two of them in that number 3 Halloween-sponsored car, orange, black, and white.
Thank goodness for the fast repair.
Yes, everyone's going to need that today, apparently. So, really good battle going on here. Oh, not with the pace car. The pace car's not involved. And Tim Chitwood, looking back at Tim, running a 108.841 in 10th spot. Trucking right along. No damage on that car. Brandon Skinner back into the lead. What did we miss? Oh, boy. Back in time. We are doing the Back to the Future. Oh, look at that. Coming off the final corner, Brandon makes a move into turn 1. This is on lap number 14. We are in replay mode. And gets a strong enough run to get position. Joa sweeps in behind him. Not sure at this point. This could be all some fun and shenanigans going on up front, as these guys might be trading paint and giving positions back. You ever see those moments in soccer where they give the ball back because somebody went down and they kind of kicked it out of bounds? Might be some of that
That
going
was
on
special.
at the front. So
So you're
we
saying
are
Joe
running
just
live
gave it.
again, and it looks like Troy Tyner is now in third spot. So something went on. Something big must have happened because Lonnie Jameson
Oh, yeah.
gave way to not Phil Scrutton, but to Lonnie Jameson. Oh, I see cars everywhere. We missed a moment and a half, people. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say Phil Scrutton somehow, some way was involved in the moment.
Yep.
And let's see here as we check in. Phil's leading, and Dave is to the inside. Phil, I'm not sure what happened. He just kind of missed his mark and then checked everybody up. That was just a bad moment in time. But everybody, like pinballs, managed to get involved and caught up. Fast repairs aplenty coming. But it sounds like there were no ruffle feathers. Looked like there was no bad intention going on. Just one of those moments. Race hard, go 3 wide. Well, that's what's going to happen here at Tsukuba.
Especially in that hairpin.
Tsukuba. So we catch back up with the live racing action as we see Tim Chitwood has moved up to 8th place. Like I said, not a scratch on that Nemo. We're going to call that the Nemo Blue Dinoco. Oh, it's Dinoco. It's the Cars sponsored Pontiac Solstice. Gotta love it. Let's see, what was the name of the blue car? I can't remember the name of the blue car. As we see, no worse for wear, James Dowling, who did get caught up in that incident and lost position, is now fighting Tim Chitwood for the 8th position. Looks like he got a good run there into 1 and is going to be able to hold position, and Tim is going to have to check back because he really can't make much of a clean move. Tyson Landis went into the pits. Did he get that car cleaned up? He sure did. That looks like a brand new car. That pit crew did amazing work, I will say, on lap number 16 as he currently running. Well, it shows him scored in 6th. That might have changed while he was in the pits. David Grunnell showing him in 9th position. So a lot of shuffling going on right now. It'll take a lap or 2 for things to sort out. So why don't we check back in with our leaders. Brandon Skinner in the lead.
Did you
Joa
just blow your engine, David?
in.
Yep.
No way, David.
Yeah. I
David.
just seen a puff of smoke. I thought it was your tires, and then I remembered it was the Solstice.
David, blow my motor, Grunnell. he was leading the race, and he blew his motor on Thursday. He was having some good laps here today, and he blew his motor again. I wish I had a code for fix your motor, but I don't. So, let's see here.
At the tow back to pit and fast repair.
Looking back to the
Who
lead
cares?
again. Lap 17 coming up towards the halfway mark of this race as this great battle between Brandon Skinner and Joa Antonio continues on. Last time by, Joa ran a 107.8 compared to Brandon Skinner's 107.8. So they are running almost identical lap times as they now complete lap number 17 and on to lap number 18 in our 40-lap event. And, you know, getting away from all that trouble, Troy Tyner ran a 108.036 last time by, quietly now running in 3rd place. All that mayhem, he somehow got through clean, and it looks like he didn't even lose any time at all.
I got him in 10th, Sean.
Oh,
You're looking at my time.
oh, shoot, what happened?
Yeah, he's lapped.
Oh,
Yeah, I got hit. I got hit and lost my steering.
oh, thank you. I thought you had pulled a miracle. Lonnie Jameson, who didn't correct me when I was miscalling the action, is actually...
He's a humble guy.
Yeah, he is.
And he's quietly, like I said, Lonnie in a boat, Jameson, all alone, running in the 3rd position, just wants to keep it quiet. Yeah, just wants to be quiet. Don't bring too much attention to the fact that I'm having a pretty decent run here, and if those guys get into any kind of incident ahead, I'm ready to pounce and gobble. Anyway, running behind him in 4th spot is David Blair. And is that car clean? That car looks like his pit crew might have done some fixies. Nope, I see a big dent in the back.
Yeah.
Nope, that thing's a mess. That thing's still a mess. It's like, you know, you see one of those people and they look good from the side and then it's a total tragedy from the front. Well, that's what David Blair's car is looking like. Everything from the front and the left side looks like a brand new showroom vehicle. And I see in the chat people talking about the reliability of the Pontiac Solstice, and maybe why you don't really see them on the road, and maybe why David Reynolds managed to kill 2 more. So, you know, when you have a car that is that unreliable and they start blowing motors, those are the ones you never see, right? Those are the ones that do go to the junkyard. I don't think there's a lot of love for the Pontiac Solstice. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of people out there in the world saying, hey, we got to keep 1 or 2 of those on the planet just to remember them by. No such luck. So let's play a new game here as we reach the midway point in our race.
Collector.
Let's name our most unnotable, like cars you like just fail. Like I drive a Datsun 240, and as much as that's a really old car and there weren't billions of them produced, you still see a fair amount of them on the road because they have a following. I mean, any old 911 Corvette or any iconic vehicle, of course you see them on the road every day, especially here in Southern California. But with that said, I can go a year without seeing a Pontiac Solstice because no one cares. So what are other cars that you
Mazda 3 guy, Sean.
What? I have a Mazda 3. What?
I said I see you more of a Mazda 3 guy myself.
I love Mazda 3s. I wish I had a Speed 3 though. That would be.
Let's have a.
You know, that would.
We got one of those here.
A Speed
Not
3.
mine, but we got one here. Yep.
Oh, you know, because like to me,
Wheels on there, not his.
and they've kind of ruined the Mazda 3 a little bit. I like the really squarey, you know,
Kinda.
back when they made the Speed 3 version. Mine isn't a Speed 3, but it's that year. And it's like, it's big enough to be a sport utility, but it drives like a cool sedan, you know. It's a very fun to drive car, and you can do anything with it. So Speed 3 would just make it fast, and then that would be really cool. Bucho says the next patron race should be the Yugo on the Green Hell. 2 laps.
We get
I heard Sean likes the Datsun red in summer pink.
I have been thinking about the next event already, believe it or not, and what combination we might try.
I got a question for you, Sean.
Yeah,
Who's your audience think has the best livery today?
that is a good question. Now, we should have asked that at the beginning of the race before you ruined all your liveries. All right, let's have a livery contest. I'm going to switch the camera view to something that gives us a really good shot at the car so we can be good judges. And audience picks who is the best livery. We're going to cycle through
Irish
the
car.
grid here. All right, that looks like a pretty good view. As we take a look at Brandon Skinner in that blue, yellow, and black 959 Pontiac Solstice. What do you think of that one? Looking into the second spot. It's the Nikon sponsored car, the 31 car of Joa Antonio. I am Key Missions 360. I don't know what that means. Yellow, black, and white. Looking into that 10/3rd spot of Troy Tyner, we see the Tron sponsored teal and blue #1 car. Very Tron inspired. And
Oh,
then,
my livery didn't change. I got Hot Wheels on. That's weird.
do I have to hit refresh? Are you on trading paints? Maybe my trading
Yeah.
paint's screwed up.
Yeah.
All right, let's try testing our trading paint ability to control car. Now you're white, and you're still in that car.
Oh well. Tron it is.
I saw Hot Wheels.
Yeah, I've seen Hot Wheels on them too.
What's up with that? Now everybody's white. That's fun.
Everybody wins.
Where's my trading paints? All right, we're gonna take a little diversion. This
So
is the patron race.
Spectate class too.
No. Why is my trading paint?
How to screw up trading paint.
Trading paint says everything's up to date. All files up to date. Is there a manual? Advanced. There should be like a manual button. Trading paints. Do it now. Double, triple check yourself. Nope, we can't change that. Troy, you're stuck in the Tron car. And now everybody else is locked into white because I ruined everything. Lonnie Jameson was in that yellow and black car. James Dowling, name your... I've ruined the game. I'm sorry, everybody. Wow, this is the worst moment in my streaming history.
If you tried to refresh it again?
Yeah, everybody's stuck in white.
Wouldn't the Fanatec stream be the worst moment in your streaming history?
With the what?
Fanatec stream when you were doing that.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah,
We don't talk about that.
that stream never happened. Oh, colors are back.
Never happened.
Yay, they're back.
All right, let's change the subject back to these beautiful paint jobs as we look at Lonnie Jameson's Bumblebee, yellow and black. That pretty much looks like a stock Solstice that someone stuck 55 on the side. Oh, there's a little color down the middle, a little gray striping.
It's supposed to be the Amazon car.
Yeah.
Not on my screen. It isn't.
Oh, here we go.
Have to redo it.
So this is like, how good did you do your
Well,
undercoat? I killed Trading Paints.
You got in the wrong car, Lonnie.
My Trading Paints has ruined everything.
May not be you.
Might not be me. It's always me.
So.
Yeah, so our game kind of sucks. I'm sorry. I mean...
All right, break out the shots.
Oh, dear. All right, so let's go through the grid. I think I can do that with some decent competence at this point. In the beginning, in the front.
You messed up my windscreen.
In the front is Brandon Skinner, still getting no advantage. We're going to have to tune in and watch this battle here after we go through our leaderboard. With Joe Antonio running in second. In 10th place, but third on track is Troy Tyner. In third place is Lonnie Jameson. James Doling is in fourth. Nice run, James. You got through the mayhem and have been the beneficiary of position. Tim Chitwood being scored in 6th place. Tyson Landis is in 5th. Pace car is kind of taking a position. Phil Scrutton in 7th. Heiko Sherman in 8th. David Grunnell running in 8th. David Blair running in 9th. This is a really funky order. I guess I could screw that up, too. I could just do it this way and bring up my screen. Brandon Skinner leading the race. Joe Antonio in 2nd. Lonnie Jameson. James Dowling. Tyson Landis. Tim Chitwood. Phil Scrutton. Heiko Sherman. David Blair. Troy Tyner. David Grunnell. And I think Leif Helberg did not start the race, so he is not currently running. We have a great battle going on between Brandon Skinner and Joe Antonio as they close in on the back of David Blair back in 9th. But David's car is looking so nice. Even the right side. He has fixed that damage. His crew, another top job by this pit crew as they made that car look brand new in a matter of one simple pit stop for fuel. I don't know how they do it, but they did.
I'm glad they brought a semi-truck full of engines, dude.
What paint do I have?
And they did that amazing. Dave, your paint is, Dave Blair is in a brownish red 36 Star Wars car.
Yay, Star Wars.
And that, I believe, is a real Trading Paints paint job because I don't think Star Wars gave iRacing any money. I just don't think they did it. So anyway, looking back to this race. Oh, look, Joe is right on the bumper of Brandon Skinner. Okay, I've been kind of AWOL on this broadcasting thing for a few laps, but looking back, it is kind of getting down to crunch time. They're on lap 27, so 14 laps total left in this race. Both of these guys do need to go to pit lane still. It's going to be a splash and go. They won't need tires, but they will need to press a few buttons. You know, it doesn't do it automatic. Well, some people on that crew chiefy thing, I think we can do it automatic, but will it work? Will they get it to the right amount of gallons, the amount of fuel they need? Will they speed on pit lane is the big question as well. As you're in a tight battle like this, you don't want to leave anything. I mean, they're fighting for tenths on track, and it's so easy to make a 4 or 5 or even 10-second mistake going to pit lane, and that's where the drama for this race could end up being, because they have been nose to tail pretty much since the first lap mayhem or third lap mayhem. Let's see, who else is got a race going on? Oh, don't tune out yet. Joa Joa keeping Brandon honest, making a look to the inside. I don't think he had to move, but this is all about playing mind games at this point. As he Brandon goes 2 wheels off, but carries enough speed. Don't want to leave that inside door open, and he doesn't. Makes a great correction, takes a great line, and protects that inside. Joe is going to have to sit there and wait, sit there and look for an opportunity or a moment. I played this game yesterday, and it is hard to find a moment. All they have to do is stay on the right driving line, and there's not a lot you can do in the Solstice, the Soulless, the Pontiac Blow My Motor Solstice.
That was close.
Sorry, Phil. I have no idea how often I can avoid that.
More shenanigans going on between Phil and Heiko.
I managed to save it. So.
I see some big spillover carrying over to Wreckfest from this one.
Sure.
That's what Wreckfest really started out as. It was paybacks for moments like these, and then it became the opposite, where we were paying people back for Wreckfest in these. I think people misunderstood the rules and the concept of the two games, but that's what happens when you have men and cars. People and cars. That didn't sound right. People and cars. When was racing invented? That's my favorite question.
The second car came off the line.
That is exactly right. Man, the minute they built the first car, you know what everyone said? Man, we need another one of those so we can race them. That's how it played out.
It's way before that.
They race anything and every. Oh, was that Dave Blair? Was that Dave?
They raced everything on wheels downhill.
Whoops. Dave, what happened to my paint, Blair? What happened?
I hit the grass.
I always hit the grass. It works out much better for me.
Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, this is a beautiful hit the grass tank slapper moment. Watch Dave Blair get a little bit of curving. Oh, it's that left side. It's so hard to not do that. He gets a little loose, and then he starts over. Oh, and he's going all the way around. No contact with the wall. So his crew, which worked so hard on the pit stop to make that car look like it did, they're very happy that it looks okay. Just a little bit of dirt in the grill.
Tupperware panels.
And we go back to Brandon Skinner, still in the lead, lap 30 of 40. It is really getting down to time. Both of these drivers are going to have to go to pit lane, and that could be where this chess match is played. Don't you? Have you? Have you? Have you?
Short shifting for the win.
No, you can't make it go 40. There's no way you can make it go 40. If you do, I will be very impressed.
With enough draft, you probably could.
No.
Don't draft.
Yeah, there's 0 draft. They're so terrible. So terrible. What a wonderful car. It's in next month's patron race. It's more like, where are we going to race the Oh, Brandon goes to pit lane. Catches me off guard as I'm monologuing and makes a run to pit lane. Can he get it slowed and woed? He didn't put it in the grass. No problem. Did he get it under speed and down to pit speed in time? Will he overshoot his pit box? And what will Joa Antonio do on this very critical lap? We see Brandon bring it to a stop. 1 gallon of gas, 2 gallons of gas. It should be enough. Please don't change those tires. Apparently they're using milk jugs to fill them, and he is underway again. And back out onto the track. Now we are definitely going to have to put our eyes on Joa Antonio to see what he does to counter that as he inherits the lead, and with it a pretty significant 5-point. Actually, it's going to pan out to be about a 10-second lead over Lonnie Jameson. Lonnie quietly running in third, Jameson. As he will have to go to pit lane as well. Joa Antonio looking to the inside, going down the backstretch. He is, in fact, going down pit lane. And now we will see, does he keep the car in the concrete? He does. Will he get it slowed and woed? Ooh, he comes in a little hot, but he definitely dove on those brakes. I think he actually is accelerating. It might have been under pit speed, in fact, but he did get in pretty quick as he pulls into his box. Can't afford to overshoot it. Looks like I see no correction. Milk jug filling of the fuel. 1 gallon, 2 gallon. Please, no tires. Brandon Skinner coming off the final corner onto the outside, carrying a good amount of speed as we're going to see the battle into turn 1.
They're terrible.
And Joa Antonio gets away with a pretty significant lead.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a tough one for Brandon to do. He is now, it looks like, a couple of seconds back with just 8 laps to go in this race.
Damn it, Phil.
So can Joa Antonio run clean, perfect laps? Will lap traffic? I see Tim Chitwood in that
Come on, Tim.
in that car, sponsored car. Tim's pretty good about getting out of the way, but it's still a matter of when do you catch him, and will he be in the way even without trying to be in the way. So Tim's really
Did I ever
good.
tell you how much I love you?
Slam on the brakes, you said?
Check brake
Phil
check.
loves me now too. Damn it.
So at this point, who knows who else might have pitted or not. I am showing 4th place Tyson Landis. So that means Lonnie Jameson is still due to come into the pits as he leads the race. Lonnie, look at me now. Jameson leading the race in his stock yellow Solstice. It is a beautiful. Oh, I'm pretty sure, Lonnie, do you have to come to the pits?
Yes, I do.
I figured as much.
I'm like 1 lap shy.
Oh, yeah. It's almost like someone planned it that way.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I can make it. No, you can't. No, you can't. Can't be done. I didn't test it that extensively, but we did try it out once already. So Lonnie goes another lap. Lap 33 is going to be in the books. In our 40-lap race, how long can Lonnie stay out there? And what kind of laps is he running? He ran a 107.825. The nice thing about where Lonnie's running is he's all alone at this point. I don't see any traffic up ahead of him. He's going to be able to run some clean laps. Troy Tyner running in 9th at this point, right behind him. And Joa Antonio is running in the 2nd spot. Looks like he might have even opened up the distance between him and Brandon and somehow did get around Tim clean and definitely didn't look like he lost any time in doing so. Tim Chitwood running in 10th and Brandon Skinner running in 3rd, trying to run down Joa Antonio. By the time things cycle, I would imagine to see Brandon and Joa back in the 1-2 spot and Lonnie back into the 3rd spot, unless Lonnie can just run some blistering fast lap times. 107.825 last time by, 107.830. Really pretty much the same lap times as Joa, so it comes back to the gap they had before the pit rotation. Will be about the gap now, and it looks like Brandon Skinner picked up the pace a little bit. 108. 101, wow, 108.1 that last time by. Not to scare you, Joa, but he is flying.
I was going to say, what is he, in a Firebird?
Wrong Pontiac. Lonnie Jameson stretching it another lap. He's on lap 35. He might even be getting a little fuel starvation on some of these sharp 180-degree rotation corners. iRacing doesn't really do that. You get hiccups once you're out. Early hiccups. I guess you get a little hiccup, maybe a half a lap before you run out. I've been in cars that'll get a hiccup and then go another 4 or 5 laps. It'll just kind of hiccup here and there. Lonnie leading the way with a 108.1 last time by on lap 35 of 40. And we will see. Oh, looks like he might be diving to the inside. This could be it. This could be it for Lonnie's. My moment in the sun, Jameson. I led the race.
Should have just seen if you could make it, Lonnie.
Keeps all 4 wheels on the grass, gets it checked up in time to get down pit lane, and now we'll look back to Joa Antonio and see where he is as he comes off that final corner. Looks like it'll be no trouble because Lonnie hasn't even come to a stop yet as Joa goes by and inherits that 1st spot, still being scored in 2nd place, but Brandon Skinner has gone by Tim Chitwood, so now the race is on for that top spot with just 5 laps to go. And right behind them is Tyson Landis, who's being scored in 4th, but that is in 3rd place. Tyson Landis has used some pit strategy and some running in the quiet. Oh, but a little bit of had to take a real sharp turn there to avoid Tim. Good job, no contact between them. Tyson is flying around a 107.420 on that last lap, and he
420,
is
good lap time.
moving very, very quickly as he actually is in hot pursuit of Brandon Skinner. He is, I'm not sure what's going on here. Tyson Landis has found some serious speed here towards the end of the race as he is closing that gap, and by the time they come around, this is going to be a battle for second and third as we see him scored right now in third and fourth place. And here comes that changeover as they come off the final corner. Lap 36 is now completed. Lap 37 underway. 37, 38, 39, 40. That's 4 laps by my 6-year-old math there. And
Count them with all your fingers.
I only do that inside of 10 laps, by the way, just so you know. I just guess until then. As this battle for second place is now underway. Oh, a little bit of contact.
I shifted down to first. That was my mistake.
And it looks like no damage to either car, but that kiss actually gave Brandon a little bit of momentum and a little bit of a gap. No harm, no foul, as they still have plenty of time. 3.5 laps left in this race. Let's check back in with our leader, Joa Antonio.
Has anybody not pitted yet?
I don't think so. So at this point, Joa Antonio's lead is nearly 3 seconds. Last time by at the line, he ran a 108.248 last time by. Brandon Skinner ran a 108.3, so he lost 1/10 on the last lap. Joa comes to the line now on lap number 37 completed with 3 laps to go left in the race. Joa 107.7 last time. Brandon Skinner 109, all that fighting between him and Tyson Landis. Just a great run towards the end of the stretch. Looking to the outside, tough to get it done going into that hairpin. He backs off and tries to set things up as Brandon now in full defense mode. A little wide, and Tyson gets the inside. No contact, but there's very little room for 2 cars on this right-hander. But they are going to squeeze these little Solstices through. But Tyson, might have had to make a little room that time, and that was enough to give him position on lap 38 of 40. Brandon battling back under braking, but not going to be able to get in there as Tyson has now clearly taken that second spot and has a little bit of a safety margin even, as Brandon Skinner now running in third. Tim Chitwood getting a great view of the racing action going on there. And let's go ahead and get a replay of that. No, you know what? We're down to 3 laps. Let's stay with the action, including looking back to our leader, Joa Antonio. They told me in the mic, what are you thinking? Replay. We only have 2 laps left in this race. No time for replay. Joa Antonio has increased that gap to a 4.7 second gap. So unless he just blows a tire, or more likely in the Solstice, a motor.
Yeah, the motor.
Yeah, it's the motor. These tires, they last forever, but the motor on the Solstice seems to only be good for about half a race in some people's hands. Joa Antonio, a lap and a half to go to the line. Tyson Landis running a 107.6 the last time by. He is really running the fastest laps of anybody out on the track right now, by about 1/10 over Joa, as Joa just trying to survive to the finish. Brandon Skinner holding on to that third spot by a pretty good gap over Lonnie Jameson, who's now in fourth. So again, it was some pit strategy. I'd love to watch, if we went back in time, I'd love to see Tyson Landis's in-lap and entry into the pit and out-lap, because that could have been the difference. That could have been where he made up so much time and leapfrogged all the way from 4th or 5th spot into second position, and now running great laps. Joa Antonio now on his final lap with a 108.2, running conservative that last time. I think he's short shifting, just trying to make sure he doesn't hear any valves lifting beyond their ability or popping through the bottom and into the cylinder. Can he keep it going? I've seen a lot of blown motors here. He does have a fast repair, but there will be no time to get it done. Towing to the pits doesn't give you the checkered flag, I don't think. You never know in iRacing rules. You never know. That could be the greatest coup in the world. Cross the line on the second to last lap and then hit reset, tow. And no, I don't think it works that way. Tyson Landis with a 107.2. So running some of the fastest times. I mean, that's downright as fast as people running in qualifying here on the last lap. 40 laps on these tires. Like I said, they just don't wear out on this car. It is a great tracking car. As we watch Joe Antonio bringing it to the line with a little swerve off the final corner, swerving down the backstretch, and he is the winner of the April Simpit Patron Race, and a little bit of Wreckfest payback coming to you for your win. And it looks like everybody's trying to dogpile on Joa. We got to tune in for this. This is the way it goes.
Okay.
As Joa tries to do donuts in this beat-up car, as we see Lonnie Jameson coming to the line in 4th spot, giving him a little kiss as he goes by. As Joa is out there. Oh, getting hammered. Oh, that was Phil. Oh, and David getting in on the action. Heiko drifts on by as Joa, upside down, loving his trophy anyway, wins the race.
A little proud there, Joe.
No, still good.
Oh, that was good, you guys. So our final results in this race are, Dave gets in with a big hit in the Star Wars Rebels car. So our finishing order today is Joa Antonio. Good job, Joa. Well done. Tyson Landis.
Good job, everybody.
I just look in my rearview mirror.
with perhaps the best strategy of the day. Brandon Skinner.
I knocked somebody out of the track.
I seen that.
Oh my. Too funny. So Joe Antonio wins the race. Tyson Landis in 2nd. 3rd and the final podium spot goes to Brandon Skinner. Lonnie Jameson in 4th. Phil Scruton in 5th. Heiko Sherman, James Dowling, Dave Blair, Troy Tyner, Tim Chitwood, and David Grunell rounding out our 11 finishers of the race. Lee Hilberg, unfortunately, his Solstice blew the motor during practice, and he somehow didn't have a fast repair, so he was unable to start the race. But that's going to do it for this one. But we do have one very important moment before we go. One big deal for me. I mean, the whole point and purpose of the Simpit Patron Race is to thank and honor our patron team because they support the show so much. And one other thing I like to do is give away a Simpit t-shirt and coffee mug each month. Obviously, it's to the entire group. So what I did was I pulled all the members, and at this point we have 89 active members eligible for the prize. So as you can see, oh wait, hold on, I gotta turn off my Windows, my iRacing window. So here's our list of all of our patron team. Actually, let me turn off this as well because it is in my way. There we go. We can even turn off the track. You don't need that. And so what I did was I went to random.org, which has just a random generator, and I put in minimum 1, maximum of 89, and I am now going to generate a number, and that number is 84. So we look to our list for patron member 84, and that be Torbjorn Mundal. Torbjorn Mundal is our winner. I will send him an email immediately and let him know that he won a t-shirt and coffee mug, and I'll get those sent out right away. So thank you to everybody, and if you watch, thank you for being here, being part of the pit crew. Thank you for coming out and racing with us, you guys. Today it was a lot of fun, and next month on the 4th Saturday of the month we will do another patron only race, just to make sure that we thank these guys for everything they do behind the scenes. Like I said earlier, they help me with audio, video problems. They make sure the streams look great. We hang out and race all the time, hang out on Discord, and we've created a bunch of great friendships behind the scenes as well. So thank you all for being part of it. Thank you for being here today. It's been a lot of fun for me, but that's going to do it for this one. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.